with new Richmond Lions coach Josh Stratton. Josh, you finished 4-day camp last week. That's the first time you really could get out and coach. I know you spent a lot of time in weight rooms. What's your comments for after 4 days of camp?
I let the kids transition into the new system, new style of practice. Schematically, they did a real nice job of picking things up way faster than I anticipated. It was a great opportunity for us on the offensive side of the ball, because we're all new to the program, to evaluate talent and see where guys fit and what we can do well, and how to evolve the offense from there. We actually met this Monday, the offensive staff met on Monday, and kind of planned out the direction that we want to go based upon what we saw the last 4 days.
What's the schedule for the rest of the summer as far as 7-on-7s and your 6 remaining coaching days before you start 2-a-days in August?
That last full week in July, we will go. We'll have camp in the morning, and then at night we'll have 7-on-7. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at night with several different schools. Tuesday and Thursday will be here. Monday will be at Milford, and then Wednesday morning we're going to take the skill guys over to Kentucky or to Campbell County to work with several schools over there. So we're getting a lot of reps, a lot of practice. So essentially that week, our kids are going to be practicing for about 6 hours.
Yeah. Well, I was here last week and filmed.
All right. This is the beginning of practice. Working through some group drills and an install period. The gentleman in the white shirt and the black shorts next to me is our running backs coach, Don Jacobs, who came to us from Glen Estee. And then the big grizzly bear-looking guy with the glasses and the goatee is Ben Osborne, our offensive coordinator and O-line coach, who came to us from Kings High School. And right here, we're just installing our truck play, which is essentially a wing tee buck sweep that we're running out of spread sets. And it looked, it really fits well with our linemen, and it's a nice complement to some of the other things that we're doing. And that's we installed it this day, so we wanted to have a kind of a walkthrough period in the beginning. We have position meetings before every practice where we talk about this stuff with the kids and chalk talk it, and then we walk it, and then we actually run it. So. We want to make sure that we cover all bases with our kids before we ask them to go out and actually perform a new play.
You look pretty active on the offensive end. Is that what we expect during the season?
Yeah. I tell you what, our defensive staff is really strong, I feel. I meet with them, so I know what's going on with those guys, daily. But I pretty much, being the quarterback's coach and kind of, running most of the passing game stuff, I got to be very involved in the offense, and that's who I am. That's where I've been my whole career's on the offensive side of the ball, and I've coached some on the defense when I was at smaller schools where I had to coach on both sides of the ball. But for the most part, that's what I've been doing. I've been back there with those quarterbacks, in the pocket with them, teaching them. Fundamentals of playing that position. Right here we're talking about footwork and how we need to change our footwork for different runs to make sure that we get out of the way. And that's Gage Kramer, by the way. He's never played quarterback before. Freshman. He played. I'm gonna pat him on the back here. He played 3 positions last week and was successful at all 3. For a freshman to come into a new system and learn 3 positions, and was on it. Like, doesn't matter what we were doing, what position he was running, he was mentally not making mistakes. He's a great kid.
What you call a football IQ?
Oh my goodness, you have no idea. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now we're running. Okay, this is hitches and bubbles. We call this hitches and bubbles. These are easy throws. These are easy quick screens, and it's a great way not only for our receivers to work on stance and get-offs, but also for our quarterbacks to get loose. They're working their hips. They're working their eyes, and these quick passes that we want to. These are just catch and throw. You probably heard me time and time again talk about hips.
Hip, yes.
I don't coach a lot of the upper half, not necessarily their brain, but in terms of throwing mechanics and stuff, I'll very seldomly really mess with the kids' throwing mechanics, especially if I come into a program where I've got a senior quarterback like Levi. I'm not going to really mess a whole lot with the way he throws the ball up top, but I'll really coach the bottom half of a quarterback a lot, because if you can have the correct footwork and be efficient with your lower half, you can get the ball out a lot sooner. And there's Coach Jacobs giving a read on our zone read drill to our backs. He was just in here with us earlier. He's just a great asset to our staff. He's an educator. He's a teacher at Glen Estee Middle School, and he just really coaches the fine points and is very patient with our kids. And he's also learning a new system because he's been over at Glen Estee, and we know traditionally those guys have been running the wing tee forever. Now we're on the defensive side of the ball. The bald gentleman in the all black is Tyler Lehman, who came with me from Lloyd. He's a very dear friend of mine, and is also a great mentor to young kids. I brag about him all the time, and he actually doesn't like it that I tell everybody this, but he's actually got a Purple Heart from Iraq, and gave up his dream of playing college football to go join the military after 9/11. And he's a great football coach. He coaches our outside linebackers, and he's going to be our JV defensive coordinator. And he's got a tough group. Coach Mahan working with our defensive line. Coach Mahan has never coached defensive line before, and I asked him to step down and coach the D-line, and without even batting an eye, he said absolutely, and he's doing a great job, and he's learning as well, new drills and new techniques and stuff, because he's never been there, and doing a great job at it. Every day he came in with something new he wanted to share with me, a new drill or technique that he learned from his research or talking to friends of his that played coach D-line. That was really nice.
Well, he's a good student of the game, and he and Josh Wade, who we'll see here in a second, took over the weight room during a coaching transition. So they were the first two you met when you got the job here.
Absolutely. Yep, and there's Coach Wade in his Throwback Thursday socks. A young guy, but as I keep telling people, he is a football coach. I mean, that's who he is. He lives it. He's wise beyond his years. He's a young guy, but he's a way better football coach than most people his age. And the kids really respond well to him. And he's really good at being a young guy. You have a hard time sometimes drawing that line between buddy and coach. And he's really good at making sure the kids know that he's coach first. He's not their buddy, even though he's not that much older than them. But he's gonna call our defense this year. Coach Herman, spoke so highly of him, and really kind of helped me make the decision to allow him to call the defense. And he's done a great job of getting everything together and running meetings and teaching other coaches what he wants to see with our defense. And right here, he's working a shed and tackle drill. And then Coach Fagan, who's going to work with our back half, our defensive backs, and he's a probably going on a 20-year veteran of coaching. Lives in our district. His daughters are students in our district, and that's why he wants to coach here and be. He's embedded in the community, and he's a great asset. He could coach anywhere in the state or in the city of Cincinnati if he wanted to, and he chooses to coach here. And I feel so blessed to have him on staff. He's a great asset for me and for our kids.
Like I say, he's a former head coach at Milford, and I think about his 5th year here at New Richmond, and just a fun guy to be around.
Absolutely.
And he had a youthful defensive backfield last year, but this year they got a lot of experience, and you've added a couple players in, like Blake Thompson, I believe, is going to fit in your defense this year.
Yeah, Blake's going to play safety, and I mean, there's not many schools our size that have 6 foot, 200-pound safeties that can run like Blake. I mean, if he can run the alley and hit the way we expect him to, he's going to be. I think he could be a college safety. I mean, he's got that kind of athletic ability. And then Jake Hauke is going to be a 3-year starter at corner. And Jake does does everything with a sense of urgency and 100% effort all the time. He's so much fun to coach, and he has the same facial expression all the time. Like, sometimes I wonder if he's having fun, but that's him right there. But he wins every sprint, and he gives 110% all the time, and he's just such a great leader. Not a vocal leader, but leads by example every single day. And then, of course, Jimmy Snyder, who is a great asset as well. Defensive back will be the other safety. And then the other corner spot's kind of up for grabs. We got a couple juniors fighting for that spot, and maybe even some younger guys. Here's Coach Oz working our zone technique. I know right now what he's stressing is having their eyes on the second level. We struggled with that last week, and that's just something new. And again, we're working hitches and bubbles over here. We're back to hitches and bubbles. And you'll notice how many reps we're getting. It's fast. Our receivers probably catch anywhere from around 50 balls a day in drills, not to mention what they get on the judge machine. They probably get another 20 on the judge machine. So this is pat and go. Again, we're just working on stance and get-offs and catching the ball at its highest point is our coaching point on that, and then our quarterback's putting it in the right spot. We're running to the water. We never ever want to walk on the turf. Anything we do.
Okay, Coach, we really appreciate it. I think everybody's going to be excited when the first kickoff, and that we're looking to schedule August the 30th against Indian Hill here.
That's right.
And then